The Cronos ETP is finally being traded on the Euronext exchange, but more interestingly, the issuer is expecting a big increase of the Cronos price, going from about 12 cents all the way now to about $1.20. But where is this prediction coming from? Well guys, I would say let's strap in and let's find out. In May of 2025, 21Shares announced their latest product, the Cronos ETP, an exchange-traded product. And much like an ETF, the ETP tracks the price of the underlying asset. So in this case, that is CRO. And even better, it is tracking staked CRO. So any holders of this ETP are also slowly gaining more staking rewards, and therefore the value is also increasing. So great product, but this product just went live on a few different exchanges. You can find them, for example, here on the 21Shares website. But what is more interesting is that with this launch, also they had to share the key ID, the key information document. And in this document, they talk about a lot of risks, but also they do make a few predictions regarding price. And that is very interesting. The document starts with the risk indicator, and 21Shares put the Cronos ETP at the highest possible risk, 7 out of 7. And you can also see that back in their price predictions that we can see down below in their performance scenarios. And they sketch a few different scenarios. We've got the stress scenario, the unfavorable scenario, the moderate scenario, and also the favorable scenario. And the stress scenario, that would, for example, be the collapse of FTX, where the FTT token basically went to zero. And it's also their expectation with Cronos in such a bad stress scenario. However, then we also have, for example, the unfavorable scenario. That would be, for example, a bear market, what we had in 2022. We had the moderate scenario where not much happened. And finally, we do have the favorable scenario of the 2017 bull market as the example. So now you understand the scenarios. And the example here would be an investment of $10,000 and holding for 1 year. So again, with the stress scenario, they expect that you lose basically everything. 100% of your investment is gone. Then we do have the unfavorable scenario, for example, in a bear market, and there you might lose 90%. And yes, in the past, the CRO token lost basically 90%. Then for the moderate scenario, we're talking about an earn of about 65%. But I think the one you guys are waiting for are the favorable scenario, which is an increase of 1,267%. So your $10,000 would become $136,000 in the favorable scenario. And do remember, ladies and gentlemen, the favorable scenario would be a bull market, and 2025 is seen as such a bull market. So the odds here for this scenario are not too bad. So then guys, we get this percentage. Well, what price would that mean for the CRO token? And we have first to go back to the begin date. So we do see here the 6th of May. And if we then go back to the chart for CRO, this is the rainbow chart, by the way. So don't forget to also subscribe if you don't know this one yet. But if you go to the 6th of May, and then we also go up about that 1200%, you can see that we are going to the red zone, where we do expect also the peak to occur for the CRO token. And then we do see that 1200%, give or take, brings us to that $1.20 target. 21Shares does mention regarding their performance scenarios that the market developments in the future are uncertain and cannot be accurately predicted. The unfavorable, moderate, favorable scenarios are illustrations using the worst, average and best performance of the product, and also a suitable benchmark over the last 10 years. Do know though that Cronos is not even yet 10 years old. It just had the 7-year birthday. Finally, what is interesting in this document is this question: how long should I hold it, and can I take my money out early? And of course, guys, you can always take your money out early, but the recommended holding period is 1 year by 21Shares. And I kind of agree here, because if you take a look at the CRO token, you do see there is a long period of doing nothing, a long bear cycle. So for about 3 years, we have basically done nothing. But then in a very short amount of time, you can see this parabolic rise. That was only about half a year of time when the token actually went parabolic. And also in the other 3 years, I think you would be better off with, for example, Bitcoin, as you can see here on the Bitcoin dominance chart, because you can see Bitcoin dominance keeps rising. So Bitcoin is becoming stronger and stronger, and altcoins like CRO are losing their strength. And then finally, we do expect again a bit of an altcoin season, which will take about 1 year, about 60 weeks in the previous cycle. So again, guys, that will be the time to hold on to the CRO token. And after that, maybe after that year, I would say sell the ETP. Anyways, let's go back to the CRO chart, because do I believe this prediction of about $1.20 does make sense by 21Shares? And in general, I would say yes. If you take a look at the current cycle and also the previous cycle, there are many similarities. And I do expect also, like we talked about in a different video, that we can see a similar parabolic rise in the upcoming week. So therefore, this prediction does make sense. But also fundamentally seen, I do believe that we can actually surpass the previous all-time high of about 97 cents. Because if you take a look fundamentally, the Crypto.com company that's linked to the CRO token has grown almost exponentially. And also the Cronos chain has become technically a lot better. So I do believe it is now a lot more future-proof. So in general, I do think fundamentally and also technically, we're talking about give or take a 10x. Well, a 10x in an altcoin season where all altcoins are making big moves is definitely not unheard of. So guys, the $1.20 target, I think, is one you have to watch. What do you think though about this $1.20 target? Is it too high or is it too low? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're at it, don't forget to also hit that like button and subscribe by strapping in to the channel. Also, if you want to learn more about the previous cycle and all the similarities, don't forget to see this video to the left of me.